Just take a second, guys. Hold on. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Wow, I'm really happy to be at this school. I mean, this is incredible. You guys are somewhere on the way to Hyderabad from Bangalore. There's a state highway. I started when I was about your age from home, and I just got old on the way. But you do have a lovely school, I must say. Can we have the house lights on? Because I'd like to see the audience as well. These red lights are great, but great. Oh wow, look at the technology here, man. This is a great school. So before I begin, firstly, to the entire student folk and to the visiting students from the different schools, thank you very much for having me at Vyvam. Also a very special shout out to Principal Ma'am, Dr. Caroline Pascoe. Thank you, ma'am. The very strict yet gentle Mr. Shantanu. Respected teachers and dear students. You know, the thing is, in my own head, I haven't really grown up because it feels like I was in school yesterday. And then you suddenly one day wake up and you're like, damn it, I'm in my 30s and I'm actually now here speaking to a bunch of students, you know, who go to such a good school, the International School, Bangalore. I met Parthav, who's in 12th, and I was like, I wish I had half his maturity when I started speaking with him. This is great. You know, it's a great feat that you have run as one, and that's broadly what my family and I have always done. My mom was a single parent. I went to a boarding school in Coorg. It was a great school. I went there about 18, 19 years ago, I think. Doesn't show from the texture of my skin. I'm pretty old. I went to a boarding school, and you know, a lot of parents usually scare their kids saying, hey, we'll send you to a boarding school if you don't behave right. But ours was a necessity, and we had to run as one because my dad wasn't the best parent, and my mother had to divide time between my sister who was growing up and me. So she thought that the best thing would be for me to not get influenced by my father and for me to be at a boarding school where I grew up with children wearing the same white kurta pajama through the day, the same school uniform. The only difference between us when you know, we look at uniforms was the games uniform because we were in different house systems. But what I learned there was the idea of being one, the idea of being together. And when I look back in time, I think I've made some of my best friends from school. In fact, I'll tell you a very recent story. I was supposed to get married in the month of November. You guys are young. Ask married people, they will not cheer that way. I was supposed to get married. I repeat, I was supposed to get married. But, you know, for whatever reason, the marriage didn't happen. It had to go down. I was going through a very tough time personally. I had in fact decided on the destination for my trip with what was meant to be my wife. And we were supposed to go to Japan, and I was down in the dumps, guys. Now, the reason why I'm telling you the story is because it will take you back to where I made this friend of mine. I was down in the dumps. I was going through, you know, stuff, you know, with my mental health. I couldn't wrap my head around what was going on. I thought life was really difficult. Heartbreaks are difficult, you know, when you're in love and when you suddenly realize you have no love, it becomes a little difficult. So I told this friend of mine, dude, you know what, I was supposed to go for my honeymoon to Japan. And this friend of mine immediately jumps up and says, dude, stop being depressed. You know what, you and I will go for your honeymoon. So we're actually going to Japan. And this is a school friend of mine called Pradhan. So I've known him now, I think, for about 20 years, and it's incredible what school friends can, you know, do and contribute to your life, not just today, but also for the years that are there ahead. And the reason why I'm saying this is because school is where you meet some great friends. You know why? Because you're all just like young, your dreams are fresh. And honestly telling you, there's no cap on dreaming at all. Do you guys agree? You can be whatever you want to be. It's just age that sort of puts these barriers in your head. You know, some of you want to be astronauts, but when you grow up, suddenly space becomes distant and you become spaced out. But when you're young, you can just achieve and do whatever you want to do. You know, my boarding school was a great place. We used to have a stage just like this. Obviously not an auditorium with, you know, multi-colored chairs and multi-colored faces in the audience. Uh, but my boarding school was a great place. You know, I used to study at Frank Anthony Public School in Bangalore. Any of you? So FAPS is a fun place. You know, it's an okay place. It's an okay place. You never hear them saying, "Oh, we produced, IAS officer." They produce comedians. Basically people who are just having fun in life. But I was there and I was never allowed to go up on stage, guys. I was never allowed to go up on stage for some reason. The only time I went up on stage, there was this thing which happened when I was in nursery, where they brought about kids A for apple. So if a child had red cheeks, he was A for apple. B for ball, he was a little stout and that child was rolled up on stage. C for cat, no Snapchat filters back in the day, so if, the boy or girl looked cute and looked like a cat, I don't know how, but they put that child up on stage. I was given Z for Zulu chief. I know you guys study what, A level, is that right? IB, so it's Z for you guys, it's not Z, sorry. So I was Z for Zulu chief and I was sent up on stage and I just had to go do hoo on stage. That's it, they never let me go up again. But when I went to my boarding school, I had a stage like this, and the reason why I'm quoting this is because, when we're in school, we don't really make use of every facility that exists around us. Some of us think we're cool, some of us are really too shy to go out there and do something that's going to eventually contribute. I remember going up on stage. My first ever play was a Kannada play where I had to run across the stage almost from that distance to this distance, screaming, "Ayo, yo, 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 yaro, vidibare." Which translates to, Dr. Caroline, it translates to, "Oh my God, someone's fallen there." I had to run across the stage screaming that. That was my first time on stage. But that first time turned into many times. I used to sit in the back bench imitating my chemistry teachers. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Mr. Shantanu will catch you. I used to sit down and imitate them. And Nagaraj as a character, oh my God, you have heard this so many times. My chemistry teacher actually spoke like that. And many years later, when I started my radio career, I spent about almost a decade on radio now. When I started my radio career, my prank calls got popular, the different characters, the Malayali one, oh my God, Chaco, I'm sure you've heard of it. All these characters were influenced from my teachers in school, so I met my chemistry teacher and he looked at me in the eye and he said, "Thank God you picked my accent up and not the chemistry." All that time that I spent on stage, I was reprimanded a couple of times because teachers are very good, My best friend, I grew up without my father, but I must say I found a father in the principal of my school and till date we have a great relationship. Any big decision that I make, I invariably end up calling him because there were 400 of us in that school and they knew everyone and everybody knew each other's parents and it was a different time. The principal of my school, I remember, he would reprimand me for imitating teachers because teachers would go and complain and say, "Sir, we cannot handle this boy, sir. He's a complete useless fellow, sir. He will not do anything." But the principal of my school, Mr. Nanjunda, would always turn around and say, "No, but it's his age, let him do it, it's fine. If he's imitating you right now, you never know. Tomorrow he might just make a career out of it." And think about it, guys. I do the same stuff. I still have fun just doing voices. I still tease people on the radio like I used to sitting in my classroom. I still perform on the stage. I still love my audiences. And the best thing is I get paid to do all of this stuff. The reason why I say this is because, the dreams that you see today will actually turn into a reality tomorrow, but the point is to just be a child no matter what happens. Most of us get into these new age pressures like social approval. How many of you have ever been at that end of social approval, guys? I know, it is so common, but don't fall prey to that. What happens is, especially, how many of you are on social media, on Instagram and Facebook and all of that stuff? There is a world outside that, guys. You know, I'm not saying that, obviously times change, technology is affordable, technology is available, everybody has every single, mobile phone and the internet's cheap, so you guys can be on these platforms. But the point is, how do you actually use these platforms? The reason why I'm speaking about this is because I was recently at a different school, not as fancy as yours, but when I was there at that school, the first question I got in that Q&A session was, "Sir, how to get blue tick on Instagram, sir?" Stop with you. So many other questions that you can ask. Why do you want a blue tick on Instagram? The reason why I'm saying this to you guys is, don't give in to things like these, because the thing with social media, you can portray a great life because you finish school, you go back home, and these 700 people or 1,000 people who are around you right now will not come home to see how happy you really are, or how happy your environment is. I'll take you back to my boarding school. We used to write letters. I used to write a letter to my mother on a Wednesday. I share a very, very close bond with her. Every Wednesday. Do you all know what inland sheets are? Yeah, okay, 6 of you all do. Most of you all sound like teachers. So let me explain, guys. Back in the day, there was something called an inland sheet. It was a blue colored letter that you had you had one side, you folded, and you had the third side. I'd write a letter to my mother on a Wednesday, and my mother would receive the letter on a Saturday, thanks to the Indian postal system. And then my mother would write to me on a Saturday, post the letter on a Monday, and it would come back to me on a Wednesday. We did that for 7 years. I have every letter that she's written to me, and she has every letter that I've written to her. And someday we hope to put that into a nice little diary and sort of, put it together. But every letter that we wrote to each other was a lie. Every letter. My mother would always say, "Things at home are great. Dad is fine." Until I'd come back home and realize Dad wasn't even around. I would write to her saying, "Hey, I know everything is good. I know everything is great back at home. But I knew in my heart that everything wasn't right." When I would turn around and tell her that in school, today they're distributing chocolates for someone's birthday, and my birthday is coming up, but I don't want to distribute chocolates because chocolates aren't available. I knew that the chocolates were available, but a financial burden on my mother would affect because she was a single parent. Every letter that we wrote was a lie, but we were just projecting happiness. And that's exactly what today's social media is. People are projecting happiness, but what's happening inside them is purely theirs. So don't fall prey to somebody else's happiness. What's yours is truly yours. And as time goes by, you'll realize that social approval really doesn't matter. People who will say something today, for all you know, won't even be there tomorrow. The next thing that I want to talk about is have fun. Have fun. I know that some of you all are now finishing 12th. You guys are finishing 12th. There are some who are much younger. How old are you, little girl? How old are you? Yeah, you. How old are you? Sorry? You're 14. Sit down. 14. Okay, so some of you are really young, and for some of you all this whole conversation is, come on, yeah, do something fun. But as a chief guest, you sometimes have responsibilities, and you've got to say these things. Have fun, because these years that you have, really telling you, when you roll into the future, you look back and be like, damn, time passes by so quickly, and I don't even know where I started and where I am. When you finish school, or while you're in school, when you're in 10th standard, your parents will come up to you and tell you, listen, this is the most important year of your life. When you're in... I went to it. In 11th, they'll come and tell you if you don't do well this year. And they keep quiet. In 12th, they'll come and tell you, this year you do enough. Then you go to undergrad. And it's the same story. I'm not kidding you. Even now, when I go to work, it's the same thing. I enter work, and the first day I went to work, someone told me this. 8 years in, I'm still figuring 10 years in, I'm still trying to figure what I'm doing with my life. Listen, every day, I wish people actually told you this, that not a year, not an exam was important, but every day in life is important. Because honestly telling you, what is the guarantee that we have tomorrow, guys? So I would rather tell you, every day is important. Be good to people around you. Be kind to people around you. Don't bully someone who's weaker. Instead, make them stronger by contributing to their lives. Respect people around you. Be transparent with your parents. Don't hide stuff. It's pointless. You know why? Because your mom and dad have been where you've been, man. So no matter what you try and hide from them, boss, they know what you're doing. They probably did it back in the day when there was, I don't know what you're doing, but they've all been there, done that. Your teachers know it too. So be transparent with people around you. And finally, I think I'm going to conclude, and then we'll just take about 2 questions. And I think Parthav has planned a Q&A session at, like this if you do, I don't know where. What is this? Say it. Radio Shack. Do you know where the Radio Shack is? You do? Okay, so then you come there, and if you have questions, you can ask me. And finally, guys, I think the one thing that I'd like to tell you is enjoy, the process. A lot of us focus on the destination, and in the process, we don't enjoy the journey that sort of takes us there. Think about it. How many of you have gone for a holiday? How many of you have gone for a holiday? How many of you have gone for a holiday ever? You know what makes a holiday special? It's not really the destination. Yeah, it's not the destination. You might go abroad, but the fact of the matter is it's the time that you spend with your family between places that you go and see. When you go to a Universal Studios or a Disneyland, you're not really enjoying, the ride is for 2 seconds or 3 seconds, but it's the time that you spend in between getting from one ride to the other. So enjoy the journey. The destination is going to be great for all you guys, because I think the school is really churning out some great students. I looked it up online and I figured that all of you all are just wow. And I'm sure that the future is going to be great. Thank you very much for having me at Vivek.